A lot of weight loss stories that you hear are not relevant to you because they have extreme practices that are not sustainable. One thing that you got to understand with the weight loss is not just about how much weight that you lose to be able to reach your goal, but being able to keep it off. And many of the stories that you actually hear are doing things that are not relevant to you to be able to duplicate. And that's why you feel that it can be hard. Going these popular diets, doing all these extreme tactics, overworking yourself is not going to fit within your lifestyle that you're looking to have. Now, you want to be able to reach your fitness goals because that's what you need to be able to live the healthy lifestyle that you dream about. But how can you put it to yourself to be able to craft it? I'm Lee Agbohlah with LTAPerformance. In this video, I will share with you true weight loss stories that I have helped certain clients get that I'm going to share with you that's going to have some relevancy to you to be able to understand how it can help you. This is ultimately set up to help you that you can learn some things to put it into place so you can create the same success for yourself. Now with this here, I'm going to share stories that I have shared on my website, that I have shared through social media, so you can see similar things that I've shared, but I'm gonna go in depth within this video. I'm just gonna change some of the names here just because this video specifically is about stories for this video. But like I said, these are relevant to within the clients, and these are true stories. First client I'm gonna talk about here is, I'm gonna use the name here for the story. Like I mentioned, his name is Michael. Now, here is Michael. This is a client that did a lot of different things, transitioned from being just a typical employee working in a type of job that you're in logistics, to shifting to being more of an entrepreneur, doing wholesaling, doing some other hustle type work as well. And pretty much for him, as being a father, having two younger sons, having an older son, obviously responsibility of being head of the household, and the demand of being an entrepreneur would have a toll where his fitness was not in the best of shape. And over time, he had gained weight. And when I met Michael, it was time for a change for him. Now, the thing is, when you have a busy lifestyle, like my client Michael there, being a real estate investor, doing wholesaling, and also within doing different things, it can get pretty hectic. And obviously responsibility of being a father, being a husband, it can make it pretty difficult. Now the thing with that I want him to understand, which I tell my clients, this program that as far as transformation coaching is there to help you be able to lose the weight, but keep it off, and also be able to apply these same things that you learn when you're done with the training. And it's called systems. You have to have a system that allows you to be able to do that. And that's what my program creates and really shifted for him. Now, the first month with everything, I told him was going to be part of building a foundation. We got to build out a workout schedule that's going to work for you, or you're going to do a certain amount of resistance training at the gym, you're going to do a certain amount of cardio. We're going to fix some of the nutrition, do things that are simple for you. So we understand with the meal prepping and things like that, if that was going to be most of the nutrition, within time, it was going to be short for time. So we developed a plan for him to understand how to make the right nutritional choices with getting meals that were already made for him to make it easier for himself, understanding how to supplement that within different things that is doing nutrition, with getting the right protein, working on him being able to understand drinking more water, getting a good night's sleep. And we worked on those things and that. And it's all creating the system with the nutrition to understand how to make the right choice, system within the workout to be able to do that. That leads to the performance and having more energy and being able to eat the way that you want without feeling too restrictive. Not about diet, being able to burn fat. So with setting up the system for him, with first month, I told him you're gonna have some bumps and roads. And this is what I tell everyone. It's not about perfection, but it's about working on those things and creating the foundation through being able to do that. So what do you have to work on with the nutrition is understanding you're not eating enough protein, because if you're eating more protein, you're going to burn more fat, help you out with being your hunger better, and ultimately help you out with when you are getting rid of the body fat, being able to maintain the muscle. That's part of what I tell each client as part of the program, being a muscle machine. So we really worked on mapping that out. And then with working out, I made it convenient within exercises that were going to fit for him within what he was doing at the gym. So working out 5 times a week. And one thing I understood for him to be is adaptable. So sometimes the program was designed for him was just simply at the ease of his phone where it was set up for him, but it allowed adaptability. So if he had to shift the workout during the week, he could do it on the weekend and still be able to do it and still recover properly during the next week. What this allowed him to be able to do within our time of working out, he was able to get rid of more than 40 pounds of body fat and feeling more energetic, feeling more productive within his business, being able to have more energy for his family ultimately. And all that setup is by having systems in place. Now, you're gonna have hiccups and things in place and you have to work on those. So things that maybe that you need to modify that's gonna be more personalized for you, you have to do, right? And that's what we worked on of crafting. But what you're doing is taking actions each and every week and focusing on the systems set in place to start supremely fueling your body with the right nutrition and a program that's elite fitness to take you to the next level. What this allowed him is to be able to replicate the system for himself. Now, my second client here is named Kevin. And just a backstory on Kevin, similar to my client Michael, shifted from working. For him, it was as a difficult transition can be when you first are transitioning to doing your own business. So for him, it was creating everything in place so he could help others, escape the rat race of leaving the corporate field and moving into creating their own business of success. So for him, he identified that fitness was something that he was going to work on. He had a business coach, he had a mindset coach, but when he came in touch, he figured out that fitness was going to be a big part in helping out within the workouts, nutrition, setting up, similar to the client Michael, is putting those systems in place. Now, for our client Kevin, it had been some time since he had worked out. So we had to start up by building it out for him. Now the difference with him, within where his lifestyle with having a younger son, having a stepdaughter, and working on his business, home workouts were the thing that was ideal for him. And that's why I tell you, when you are creating things that are going to be helpful for you, not everyone needs to do the same thing. What you need to do is principles that are going to allow you, but shift it to yourself. So doing home workouts for him was going to be the thing. So when we first started off, it was doing more body weight stuff, doing more stuff that was around the house that he could do. As we transitioned over time, we did add more other different resistance stuff that he could do within bands. But with these workouts were challenging and still allowed him to progress within what he was doing. Now, within the nutritional part of it, so very similar. It was really mapping out how to make better eating choices, making sure he was getting the right amount of fuel per day to be able to still do everything that he needed to do today, but getting more of the right nutrients, getting more protein, and shifting to understanding that he could still have those night outs with enjoying with the son, where it's still the ice cream dates, the night of pizza, and all those different things, but it was within making sure that he was eating more of the things that were going to help him out. Sticking to the program and understanding how to level up every area of his life was the big thing. Now, what this allowed him to be able to do is to make a great choice for himself by understanding how to put this together. So one thing, you got to be committed. And that's one thing that stood out with my client Kevin. He was already in a committed phase because he wanted to change. He was already making changes. So one thing that you have to identify within making this transition to your systems, you can create all the systems in the world, but if you do not have that mindset that you are ready to make a change and you're buying into it, you will struggle. And this is what all my clients that come to me, I get them to understand that that is something that they're gonna have to buy in to be able to make the transition. What he was able to do was fit in jeans he hadn't fit in since high school, that was able to look the part. So when he was talking to prospective clients, he looked the part of somebody that had success, because when you see somebody that looks fit and has the energy, it radiates to it. And that's a big part of building a brand as well, is being able to present yourself that way. And that's what he was able to do. And now he is very successful within what he does, and is someone that is take it and understood how to create the lifestyle that he wants by adapting to himself and continue to still be able to do that. A third client here that I'm going to talk about is Aaron. Now, here with Aaron, he already had his business and everything. He's been doing it for some time within doing heating and air. He had identified when we talked that it was time that he wanted to be more healthier, because he was understanding within business and to be able to be the provider for his family, he needs to make a change. Now, within what he was used to of doing different jobs and going actually in person with different sites and doing some of the different work, the eating choices weren't always the best. So he was used to typically, and being in a small area, not always making the best choices with the fast food and everything. I mean, I can remember even a funny story our first week when we're working on making better choices within the diary. We really struggled with that, within finding the time and everything. But we mapped out how he could make better choices to choosing the different nutritional, what he was going to eat, and being able to really help him out with that. And then with the working out, it was creating the exercise for himself that he could do on the job before he actually went out for the day to do his different things he needed to do within the business. Also for him as well, because he was working on building and being more successful with his business, we would do some travels and different conferences to work on that part of it as well. And we identified within systems that allowed workouts that could go wherever he needed to go. So that's the thing that are hearing in these stories, is adaptability, is creating workouts that are going to allow you to be successful and no matter what environment that you're going to put yourself to be able to do. And that's what we really worked on within being able to do that, and being able to make those choices with the nutrition of same thing, understanding of how much fuel do you need to get today, making more better choices of eating more of the right foods that are going to be higher in protein, higher in fiber, being able to help out within that. And what that led to was making his goals become a reality. And the thing that I really loved about within helping Aaron was he wanted to be better. He wanted to be better for his family. And he really took that. He understood that being the husband and being the father he needed to do was to get his health in check, and not just do it for the short term of our time that we worked on. We kept working on different things where we had more ambitious goals. And so we're now doing different races, of doing different like Spartan type races, doing different half marathons, doing different running. And it is something that is a part of him. And he bought into the lifestyle where fitness is everything that it needs to be able to have the lifestyle he wants, and he continues to do more and he wants to achieve more. But that's all stated by having systems in place that allows it. Understanding that these workouts have to fit your lifestyle. You're not turning into trying to be a bodybuilder or be a professional athlete. So make sure the workouts are going to fit for you and that works with your schedule. For all these different clients I work with are busy, are husbands, are fathers. So you understand that it's time that is going to be committed to it, but don't make the excuse. Your systems have to align within your life. If that's missing, then it's not going to work for you. So that's what you're mapping out. You got to have a system. If you don't have systems in place, you're going to struggle. Going on a crash diet is not systems. Just going in the gym mindlessly, working out, just being on a treadmill the whole time during your workout is not a system. Great systems that allow you to be successful. And if you need more help with being able to do that, that's what having a coach like myself that has helped hundreds of clients be able to do to make a transformation is going to make a difference for yourself as well. And I hope that you took away from this is understanding that the system that you put in place is what's going to allow you to be successful, to be able to do that. It doesn't take any extreme practices. We didn't do anything extreme with any of this stuff, or any of my clients I've worked with where it's things that you're working out 2 hours a day, you're starving yourself, you're doing fasting where you're not eating. Now, there's different things that you can use that can be valuable to help you out within strategy, but the system overall is what's going to lead to success. So, what systems do you need to put in place to be able to make a transformation? Let me know your takeaways. And as always, be sure to like and subscribe.